Hello friends, this is Learn, Do, Become Radio, and I'm April Perry, and today we are interviewing one of our community members who is totally inspiring. A lot of you already know that at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are drowning in the details of life to develop simple systems so they can do what matters most. And in today's podcast, Eric and I are interviewing Jüli, who is awesome. She has gone through so much, or if you ever think that organized people are just those who are sitting around in clean houses with nothing to do, that is actually not the case for most of the world. Jüli had a tree that actually landed on their home. They had to evacuate, get out, lost pretty much everything. Her husband, who's a firefighter, went through cardiac arrest. She was taking care of him in his recovery. They were literally starting from scratch, living with family, while she's trying to figure out how to live a life where she's thriving, where she's excited. And if you've ever felt overwhelmed, I'm sure you're going to be able to relate with Jüli. So in today's podcast, she's sharing a little bit about her life, taking us behind the scenes, how she's created a transformation. And we'll share in the podcast why we invited her to join us, what she had been doing in her home and family and with her relationships that actually created this beautiful life that I think all of us want, where people can just drop in at any time and your home is organized and you feel calm and you can find things and you can actually start thinking about the bigger purpose of your life. It's pretty amazing. So come join us for the podcast and to visit the show notes page where we have things kind of outlined and we've got links, the things that Jüli recommended, and a link to our free class. Just go to the show notes at learndobecome.com/episode 62. This is so much fun. We're thrilled that you're with us, and we'll go ahead and jump into today's podcast. All right, welcome, Jüli. Thank you so much for being with us here at Learn, Do, Become Radio.
You're welcome.
We are going to start out by just sharing a little bit about what you posted in our Step Mastery Facebook group, and then we just want to hear from you and give you an opportunity to inspire those who are wanting a life that's free of piles. And what you shared in our group was you'd said, hey, I have an awesome step moment to share. I'm a mentor mom for a group of young moms at our local church. Last night, I was able to make up a batch of taco soup and host a little mom's night out for them in my home. Because of what I've learned through the STEP program, my house was already cleaned and picked up, so much so that I left my house and went for a walk with a friend, went grocery shopping, and was perfectly relaxed when they all arrived because I wasn't stuck doing damage control all day.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And you said I was able to have a wonderful visit, relaxed and happy. They wanted to tour through the house, and I was able to give it to them without freaking out. And then this morning, I went over to my folks' house to visit and have coffee. While I was away, our oldest son called to say he would be stopping by to borrow something. He and his friend were in the house when I got there. And again, I was completely relaxed. No need to feel embarrassed or try to run around picking up. The STEP program has literally made my quality of life so much better. Yay! And you got 44 comments of everyone coming in saying, we love you. This is amazing. What we want to talk about today, and Eric and I have worked really hard to make sure we don't want Learn, Do, Become Radio to be all about just, promoting STEP and the big STEP commercial, because our goal is not just to bring people into the STEP program, although we love it, but our goal is to help people to see there is a better way to live than feeling stressed out. And so I would love to just have you share a little bit about where you were. I'm guessing this wasn't always your reality and what you've done to change that and what other people could do who want to live in this ideal environment, which I know is not always like that, but no. You're able to create it. So
no, it's not always like that. But well, before I started the STEP program, I worked part-time. And so I wasn't home all the time. And my husband did shift work at the fire department. So he was on shift. And so we shared a lot of the things that we did together. And everything kind of fell into place, and nobody, there was no one person of us that had to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, through a series of events, he ended up having a cardiac arrest, and his health was a huge issue. We spent a lot of time in the hospital. We spent a lot of time talking, trying to figure out what our next step was going to be, whether he was going to go back on the line doing shift work, or whether he was going to be able to have that job at all. And then I took a leave of absence because we were definitely in crisis mode as far as lots of tests. He was wearing a defibrillator vest at all times, and I was instructed to stay with him, even stand outside the shower when he showered. I was doing CPR training and told, if he falls, then the vest will give a treatment, which was a nice way of saying it will shock him and to stand back away from him. So we were in a really scary time. And at that particular time, we also were living with my parents because our house that we were building wasn't finished yet, and we couldn't move into it. And unfortunately, the house that we were in right on site got struck by a huge tree during a rainstorm and completely destroyed the main frame of the house. And so we literally had to leave. I've always had conversations where people say, if you had to leave, if your house was on fire, what would you grab? And everybody always said, I'd grab my photos. And I did not grab my photos. I said, where's everybody's medicines?
Oh, wow.
Your contacts and your contact cases. We grabbed our 2 turtles and our 2 dogs.
Oh.
And that was it. And everything was gone, basically, by the time we got back. So we were
really
without our home, in my parents' home. Then my husband has a cardiac arrest, and that's where we were.
Okay. So you probably describe it with words like overwhelmed, I'm guessing.
Overwhelmed, extremely scared about how do we basically start again?
Yeah.
What do I do now? Not be able to talk about not being able to find stuff. So he ended up working, he is now working regular Monday through Friday at the fire department. And I stopped working because I was only working on the weekends, and that would have allowed us no time to be together.
Right.
So I all of a sudden had to find a second act, and I wasn't exactly sure how to do that. And I found that I could not manage my time well because I didn't have a particular goal and something that I was, when I was working, I had particular things that had to be done every single week.
Yeah.
And it was very easy for me to manage my time that way. But all of a sudden, when I was the one who was supposed to be structuring it, I couldn't do it. It was
you had a lot of challenges and problems to solve too, and projects to do. So you not only didn't have, a structure given to you, but you had huge projects, not only helping to keep your husband alive, but trying to get your home back in order and figuring out purpose, all of that at the same time.
And we were moving too. When our house finally got done, then we had to move in, and it was just too much. My brain, I found I was trying to sleep anytime I could just to escape. Right. And I just sort of meandered around, and all of a sudden one day I thought, I can't do this anymore. Can't be my life. Yeah. I need to get things organized. But the one thing I really loved about some of the things that you've said that I have in my brain as a mantra, I think, is that you want to get your mind organized, because then you can fulfill your purpose, because nobody's purpose is to clean their house for the rest of their life. I mean,
right.
Otherwise, I'm really I've landed on the wrong planet or something. Because that's so depressing,
Well, and what you shared on the Facebook group, what I love so much about it, and what I think everyone else loved as well, and why it resonated so much with our community, is because you were sharing how you got to invest in relationships with your parents, with this mom's group you're helping. Like, you were becoming a mentor and a helper where it's not that there's anything wrong with cleaning our house, and it's nice to have things clean. And I take, I see a lot of value in what it takes to create a home. But the purpose of it isn't to have a clean house, is to have what you've created, which is the relationships, the ability to take people into your life.
Yes, because in the middle, when you're always kind of under it and you're overwhelmed all the time, you think, I don't have time to go out and take a walk. I've got so much work to do here. I can't,
Right.
I'll almost put yourself, on restriction, really, and say, no, I have to stay here and do this work. And if it never gets done and you never feel like you're on top of it, then I always felt guilty,
Right.
I always felt guilty, but you took the guilt out of it, because I would listen to in fact, I listen to the podcast on Learn to Become Radio while I stick my little headphones in and listen to different things about not just cleaning, but thinking about what is it that you think your purpose is, and what do you want to do with your time, and having the rest of the house and having my mind be organized to where I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know what I've done, and everything. It's almost like cleaning the kitchen and having it all clean before you bake a cake. You can just think so much better. Having my house like that and having my brain more organized, then it feels like now all of a sudden there's margins in my life, so that I have room to, kind of discover what is it that I want to do. Like my son and I are working on a musical project together.
I love that.
And we're, setting up times to record and doing songwriting and things like that. And then I have in my mind some little children's books I'd like to write.
So awesome.
I got time now to where I don't feel so overwhelmed, I don't feel
you're mentoring mothers as well, like you were sharing.
I am. I did that because I did that for me and for them, because I needed to get out of the house and stop just being alone all the time.
Yeah.
And wanting to think about somebody else besides me, because it's really easy to spiral down into that feeling, isolated, and then you kind of start feeling like a hermit. And it kind of spirals. So the more adult part of me said, you need to get out of the house and invest in other people. So that's been a real blessing for me too. And I just love those little gals. It's so much fun.
Gosh. Well, I love that Jennifer in our group commented on your post, and she said, you had me at, I am a mentor mom, heart, heart, heart. Oh. It was just so cute. So I think what you've painted, I think, is beautiful. Like, I think we're all imagining you now thinking about children's books and working with your son on this musical project and spending time with your parents and mentoring these mothers. Maybe could you share what are maybe 2 or 3 things that changed? Because people who maybe aren't in the STEP program, they don't understand, what's in this magic box that all of a sudden creates this for you. What are maybe some tangible things that you did? I mean, was it establishing a better routines list? Was it learning about next actions? Or was it kind of just the whole thing building a command central? But what is it that's you feel like changed or kind of clicked for you that helped you be able to open up your life to all these awesome things?
Well, I think, first of all, I'll say it again, your approach of not feeling guilty, and kind of shaming myself of, how come I can't seem to get it together? What's wrong with me? Why can't I, get organized, and that kind of thing. To stop doing that and just to take, I think I remember taking do a drawer,
Yeah,
and
challenge.
Yeah, and I took the drawer challenge, and then I just did that kind of the drawer challenge all over the place.
That's awesome.
And I would listen over and over while I was doing it, and I just began to realize, okay, this is a huge thing. You can't do overnight, right. And that's okay. I just do what I can do for the time being, and then give myself a break. Don't make myself have these marathon, timestamps of things,
Uh-huh.
and that like the 10-minute.
Microburst.
I'm shocked at how that works, because when I put a timer on, then it's not just how much you can get done in 10 minutes, but I think it keeps me from getting distracted, because
Yeah.
I'm easily distracted. So
Uh-huh.
I start doing something, before I know it, maybe something else will catch my eye and I'll go do that. And pretty
Uh-huh.
soon I've made this huge mess, because, I pull out one drawer and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't go there. And I start wandering all over the house. And pretty soon, an hour's gone by and it's like, who came in here and did all this mess? And then I have to put it back together, and it's discouraging.
So
So,
stay focused, one area.
yeah, it helps me stay focused, because I am easily distracted and I'm very easily bored. So, I think also, what the other thing that helped me is to learn about myself. You know, as I'm going through this project, I wrote down my routines list, and I wrote it all down. And I'm sure it was a beautiful sight to see. It was just, so organized, and it looked so wonderful. And I had it, all creative, because I like pictures,
Uh-huh.
I laminated and everything. And then I looked at it and I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I can't, how can I do that? And then I realized, I can't, I have to just start paying attention to what I normally do, and tweak that and make that into a routines list, rather than sitting down with a piece of paper and writing it all down.
Good.
That
Good.
makes sense,
Yeah.
because then I couldn't do it.
Right. Right.
So I was the one who came up with it. It was so silly, but
Like I need 80 hours a day to do all my routine.
and when I threw it in the trash, I felt so free. I was like, okay, this one was this was just a practice one. Now I'm going to just start paying attention to, when am I the most productive as far as doing mental things? Or when am I the most productive as far as doing creative things? What time of day is it good for me to do XYZ? Because I started to kind of, I don't know, study myself maybe, where I never really did before. And that was really helpful, because now I know, if I leave the house, in the morning for several hours, then forget it if I'm come home. But for some reason, that just dislodges my motivation.
Uh-huh.
If I just had to learn about myself. And then I also learned that I, a lot of times, won't be motivated until I start.
Yes, yes. And I think that's something that's super common. I hear a lot of people saying like, well, I don't check my list, or I don't have motivation, and I don't get things done. And I actually think that the reason why a lot of people don't feel motivated is because they don't believe that their effort is going to generate results. They feel like, I'm just going to work and nothing will happen. But I think what you're learning with these little microbursts, and learning how to stay focused and just do a little bit at a time, and be gentle on yourself and focus on the things you really want to do, then it gives you more confidence, where okay, if I set a timer for 10 minutes, I am going to get this done. Like it is
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to get a result from it.
Yeah. And I found that it builds on itself, because right now I'm in the process of kind of kind of tweaking my command central.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's what I've learned, is I'm learning more and more what is works for me more and more. And so I thought, well, I'll just tweak it a little bit.
Good.
And then, now that I'm in the middle of tweaking it, I actually wake up in the morning and I'm excited. I can't wait to get started.
I love it.
Which is a totally different thing for me. In the past, it's kind of like, what's on Netflix? I just don't want
Yes.
to.
Oh, I think so many people can relate. And I feel like that's kind of a key for me too, where if I find that I'm not waking up excited, it means something needs to change, something's off. Because of course, there's going to be challenges and problems. It's not like every day you wake up elated. But when you feel like you have some measure of control, and that you have some measure of choice or some ability to choose.
Yeah.
And can you share a little bit about where you guys are right now? I mean, how your husband's doing, where you are, like what you're excited about? Just kind of let us know where you are, or what you're kind of in the middle of right now.
Well, my husband actually, the thing that I think is the coolest thing of all, because he's my college sweetheart. So we've been
Oh,
married for 38 years and we're best friends. And when I started this, he's seen me start a lot of things and try a lot of things because I'm not naturally organized. I'm a little bit more, I don't
creative.
know, creative, I guess, and haphazard at the same time. I get spontaneous. I get really excited about things, and then it kind of like I
Yeah.
seriously forget that I was going to do something or organize something like a week into, and I'd forget. And then and he'd say, "How? I don't understand how you do that." And I was like, "I don't either, but believe me, I really do forget."
Yeah.
It's like a weekend, and oh yeah, I was going to do that. So the fact that I'm still doing the same thing so many years later, he is noticing for sure. And he's also made comments like, wow, if there's something that we needed, like we needed passwords, we needed for him to do some stuff, and I had a notebook and I just went right to it.
Mm.
He had called and needed passport information from work one day, and I could just pull stuff just
Yeah.
within a minute because I know exactly
Yeah.
where everything is.
So great.
He's been impressed. I mean, this is not me, right?
That's awesome.
So that's been good. Everything runs better. I'm not running around at the last minute, and so we're having a lot more time just to sit and have coffee and talk and spend time together and things like that. And the bonus is, he's still here after,
Yes.
4 years. We were going on our fourth bonus year. And that's the big gift, is that he's here, and our time, that I don't feel so overwhelmed and so guilty and so pulled all the time.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. And the other thing is we're 4 adults living in this house because we have 2 adult children.
Okay.
Um, and I've started to kind of explain to them some of the stuff that I've done in my class, and they're starting to implement it into their lives and their space, in upstairs, and they're starting to feel better. I can tell. So
Mhm.
it's mentally, it's a real mental lightness, I guess is what you can say. Your heart and your mind feels light. Does that
I
make
love
sense?
that. Totally. And maybe just kind of as we're closing, what would you say to someone who's listening to you and thinking, I can never get there. I'm overwhelmed. I just do watch Netflix all day. I don't want to do anything. There's too many piles. Mine are worse than anyone else's. How do I ever get out? What would you say?
I think I would say give yourself the grace that you would give somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and to start small. I think, for me, it might not work for somebody else, but for me, just doing that little clean a drawer.
Mm-hmm. We'll put the link on the show notes page so people can go
Yeah,
find
it
that.
was
Okay.
because it was so simple. That clean a drawer, and I think your 3 box method that you
Okay.
did,
Okay.
those 2 things were really helpful for me, and still I use them still when I'm doing things because it simplifies everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, if you're going to do that, focus on that and that only, and don't think about everything else,
Yeah.
because it's like building a house. You can't build it in one day. You
Right.
have to, start with the foundation and go from there. So that's what I would say. I think that's what helped me, because otherwise, if I looked at it as a whole and I had to get it all done and know what I was doing, um, I would have been overwhelmed too. But
Yeah.
those 2 little things were really helpful, and I still use those particular concepts of, hey, get this all out, and this is, and I looked at it as an assignment. This is my,
Uh-huh. Good.
and I had a deadline for it. If it was a small project, like a drawer, you know, I'm assuming I'm going to have this done, within an hour if the
I
drawer is
love
not
it.
very big, instead of thinking, and like I said, staying focused,
Yeah.
not get distracted.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Julie, for not only being a mentor mom in your area with the people around you, but for helping to mentor our Learn to Become community, because I know there's a lot of people who will never feel comfortable maybe commenting or writing in or putting themselves, publicly out there, but who are listening and who appreciate what you're doing to help empower them. And we'll include all the links on the show notes page so everyone can come and click over and get started. And we just really appreciate all you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for asking to talk to me. Like I said, I was nervous, and then I was thinking, do I really have anything to offer? So I'm so happy.
Absolutely.
And we're actually new grandparents, and I am
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
awesome.
So now that I'm organized, I'm ready for grandma time.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much. All right. I hope that you loved the discussion today as much as I did. Eric and I were in such a good mood the whole day after we interviewed Julie, because when we actually see how real people are implementing what we're teaching in the STEP program, it means so much. And this is why we're doing this, because we love to help other people who have the desire, who have the heart, who have the willingness to be able to create these really simple systems and help them live this life where they can do what matters most. Now, of course, you can come to our show notes page for more details. That's learndobecome.com/episode 62. If you have not yet taken our free class, which we found about, I think, 2/3 of the people who were following us on Instagram had not taken the free class yet, it's at learndobecome.com/step. You can access the class on demand. We've put together a variety of trainings so you can watch it when you want, but we do recommend you do it sooner than later because we change things up around here. We want you to make sure you don't miss it. Also, just a little bit more of an update around here for those of you who are interested. Number one, we are getting ready to send our children back to school, which is super exciting. And this podcast is actually being published on their first day of school. So Eric and I are going to be having a little party around here while we have a little more quiet time. It's been a great summer, but we are ready to kind of get back into a routine. We do have a special STEP for Students promotion going on right now. Or if you're listening to this podcast later, you can still go check out STEP for Students. It's learndobecome.com/S, the number 4, and S. So just S4S. And you can learn about this awesome program. Our daughter Aaliyah created it because she said, "Mom, your program's awesome." She went through our program, but she said, but kids don't need all that. They just need a few simple things to help them clean their rooms and do their homework and organize their files and just get projects done. And I can help them do that. And so she went and created this whole student program. I didn't even see it till after she outlined it and started building it. And she totally did this on her own. But Aaliyah is in Ukraine right now for the next 16 months on a humanitarian mission. And Grace has stepped up, which has been really fun. We weren't sure. We didn't want to push any of our kids into organizing, but Grace really has just taken this and run with it. She has her command central set up. Her room's all organized. She's ready for the school year, and she's having a really fun time marketing the program. So it's been pretty awesome. So go to learndobecome.com/S4S to learn more. Come join if you would love to be part of the community there. And then just a little bit behind the scenes, because I kind of left everyone hanging a few weeks ago. I batch produced a bunch of podcasts, so I haven't actually gotten behind a microphone for quite a while. But I had been having problems sleeping. I'd been feeling kind of stressed out. I was trying to discover where to go next with my purpose and things like that. And I just want to give a little report. So number one, I went through this sleep restriction program and realized that that actually wasn't my problem. So I got back to sleeping all right. Got a new mattress, got things working. Anyway, I'm sleeping way better now, feeling much more rested, being a lot less tricky on myself. But I will say, if you are looking for an awesome book, The Sleep Solution is what I read. Very, very helpful. So read that book. I've been sleeping a lot better, which has been wonderful. Also, I've been thinking a lot about how to actually move forward with my purpose while having a family. And I just want to share a little bit about that, because I've been speaking with a lot of different women lately, women who are mothers who are trying to balance their home and family, and with fathers. We actually have an interview coming up soon with a dad who's balancing a side hustle and a full-time job and taking care of a family. And sometimes when you're building your vision and you're reaching for your dreams while you're trying to care for a family, it can be really easy to dive into your professional work and just kind of let the kids hang out on screens. Now, because I run Power of Moms as well, because Learn, Do, Become is more about family-centered productivity, I just decided that, I'm not going to do that. I have to deliberately focus on our family and sometimes either let the business grow a little more slowly or really make sure that the hours I'm spending in our business are really power-packed and enabling technology to do more of the work instead of me getting out there. And it has not been easy, especially this summer, because I want to do the back to school shopping with each of our children. We take them on a little date. I want to get out there and go on water slides and play outside with the kids and enjoy time with them. And that's what I've been doing this summer. So I'm really excited to get back into our 25,000 Step Command Central challenge. Well, okay, 25,000 Command Centrals, but they're Step Command Centrals. And I'm thrilled to be able to dive into some more things this fall. But this summer, I've just been prioritizing family, which has felt so, so good. And I've learned a lot of things along the way, which I'll be sharing more in the future. But if you are a parent or if you're caring for a family member and you're also trying to reach some other professional dreams, it is 100% possible. And to be honest, the STEP system is what does it for me. I can put things on to someday. I can, postpone things, procrastinate on purpose, as Rory Vaden would say. I don't know if you read that book. It's so good. But I just want you to know that there is hope. And life isn't easy around here. Eric and I have a lot of things we're still trying to figure out. We talked for like an hour this morning about some challenges that we're going through. And things aren't always simple. But when you learn how to take care of yourself, how to solve problems, and how to work with people, especially those in your own family, those skills, when you put them all together, really work. And I'm so happy you're here with us at Learn, Do, Become. I know I talk about Command Centrals all the time, and I love it, and I don't know if I'll ever stop talking about it, because I literally believe that a Command Central on every desk will change the world. But I care deeply about what we do with our lives once the Command Central is built. Because what's going to happen is time is going to open up, your vision's going to open, you're going to get better at reading and listening and learning because you have a place to actually put that information, and you get really good at applying it. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm an instrument in God's hands. What can I do? And the world's going to open. That's where Arise is coming in and Life Architecture is coming in. Those are future programs Eric and I are dreaming about. But right now, we feel like we've barely scratched the surface with STEP, and we want to change the world. So if you haven't yet visited our free class, it's learndobecome.com/step. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, and just come to our website if you just want to check it out. We have a new homepage redesign coming soon and a whole lot of fun stuff happening in the background. I'm just thrilled to be part of this community, and I want you to know, if right now you're listening to me and you're thinking, I'm just so overwhelmed, I don't even know what this girl's talking about, we can help you to get out of the overwhelm. You don't have to feel that way, okay? Thanks for being with us, and hope you enjoyed the podcast. Come leave a comment for Jüli. I'm sure she would love it. And we'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.